My name is Sarah, and I'm a mother to a beautiful 1-year-old girl named Lily. She's the light of my life, with her bright smile and curious eyes that seem to take in the world with wonder. But being a mother isn't easy, especially when life throws unexpected challenges your way. This is my story, a story of love, broken promises, and finding strength in the face of adversity. 5 years ago, I married my husband, Mark. We were young, in love, and full of dreams. But like many young couples, we didn't have much. We lived in a small rented room, saving every penny to one day buy our own home. Mark and I had a plan. We'd start small, buy a modest house, and later, when we could afford it, upgrade to something bigger. My mom, however, had different ideas. "Why waste time on a small home?" she said. "Buy a big one now. I'll help you." She had a plan. She'd contribute some money, Mark's parents would chip in, and we'd manage the monthly payments together. It sounded perfect. "And don't worry about Lily," she added. "I'll take care of her while you work." At the time, it felt like a dream come true. We bought a spacious home, and I was over the moon. I was 9 months pregnant when we moved in, and Mark worked tirelessly to paint Lily's nursery. When Lily was born, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I stayed home with her for the first 3 months, and then my mom stepped in, just as she'd promised. For a while, everything seemed perfect. Mark and I both worked hard to make the monthly payments, and my mom took care of Lily during the day. We were a team, and I felt incredibly grateful. "Thank you, Mom," I'd say every time she reassured me that she was happy to help. But then, one day, everything changed. "I'm tired," my mom said abruptly. "I can't take care of Lily anymore." I was stunned. "But Mom, you promised to help us," I said, my voice trembling. She shook her head. "I have my own life, Sarah. I want to rest. I have a right to my happiness." Her words felt like a punch to the gut. Mark and I were left scrambling. Lily was only 1 year old, too young for daycare, and we couldn't afford to stop working. The mortgage payments loomed over us like a dark cloud. "What are we going to do?" Mark asked, his voice heavy with worry. I didn't have an answer. I felt betrayed, angry, and overwhelmed. My mom, who had always been my rock, was now walking away when I needed her most. I quit my job to stay home with Lily, and Mark took on extra hours at work to make ends meet. Our days became a blur of exhaustion and stress. I'd wake up early to feed Lily, change her, and play with her. By noon, I was already drained. But the day was far from over. I'd hold Lily in one arm, while trying to cook lunch with the other, my back aching from the strain. Mark would come home at 8 p.m., looking just as exhausted as I felt. We'd eat dinner in silence, too tired to talk, and collapse into bed as soon as Lily was asleep. The days blended together, each one harder than the last. I called my mom occasionally, hoping she'd change her mind. "Please, Mom," I'd beg, "I need your help." But her response was always the same. "I'm busy, Sarah. I have my own life now." It hurt. It hurt to see her going to the park, meeting friends, and living her life while I struggled to keep mine together. I couldn't understand how she could just walk away from her promise. One day, I called my best friend, Anna. She had a little boy of her own and understood the challenges of motherhood. "I don't know what to do," I confessed, tears streaming down my face. Anna listened patiently, then said, "It's not easy, but you're strong, Sarah. You'll find a way." Her words gave me a glimmer of hope. She suggested I reach out to Mark's parents for help. "Even a little support can make a difference," she said. That Sunday, we visited Mark's parents. They were kind, loving people who adored Lily. After lunch, I gathered the courage to ask for their help. "My mom can't take care of Lily anymore," I explained. "We're struggling." Mark's father nodded thoughtfully. "We can help on weekends," he said. "But we're getting older and we tire easily." I smiled through my tears. "Thank you. Even a little help means so much." With Mark's parents helping on weekends, I felt a small sense of relief. Mark also took on a second job, working late into the night to bring in extra income. I stayed home with Lily, juggling childcare, housework, and the occasional freelance job I found online. It wasn't much, but every little bit helped. The days were still long and exhausting, but I started to feel a sense of pride in what I was accomplishing. I was doing my best for Lily, and that was enough. One day my mom came to visit. She looked happy and carefree, with a new dress and a fresh haircut. "How are you, dear?" she asked, as if nothing had happened. I wanted to scream, to tell her how much I was struggling, but I held back. "I'm tired, Mom," I said instead, "but Lily is a happy baby." My mom looked at Lily, her expression softening. "She's growing so fast," she said. I nodded, fighting back tears. "It's hard, but she's worth it." My mom sat down, her demeanor shifting. "I know you're angry at me," she said quietly, "but I also want to live my life. I didn't think it would be this hard for you." I looked at her, my heart aching. "I love you, Mom. I just needed your help." She sighed. "I can help on some days, maybe 2 days a week. Would that work?" I felt a surge of relief. "Thank you, Mom. That would help so much." With my mom's help, even if it was only a couple of days a week, things started to feel more manageable. Mark found a better paying job, and though he worked long hours, we finally had some financial breathing room. Lily continued to grow, her laughter filling our home with joy. Life wasn't perfect, but it was getting better. I learned an important lesson during those difficult months. Life doesn't always go as planned, and people don't always keep their promises. But even in the hardest times, we can find a way to keep going. My mom and I still have our differences, but I've come to understand that she too is human. She has her own dreams and desires, and while it hurt when she stepped back, I know she loves me in her own way. As for Mark and I, we've grown stronger through the challenges. We've learned to lean on each other, to communicate, and to find joy in the little moments, like Lily's first steps, or the way she says "Mama" and "Dada" with such pride. If there's one thing I've learned from this journey, it's that life is unpredictable. Promises may be broken and plans may fall apart, but we have the strength to adapt and overcome. Family isn't perfect, but it's worth fighting for. To anyone out there facing their own struggles, I want you to know this. You are stronger than you think. Keep going, even when it feels impossible. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. We're all in this together.